Welcome back to the TechBits YouTube channel. Today's topic is about Postgres Temporary Tables. That said, thanks for coming back to the channel if you're already a previous subscriber. If not, we welcome you to subscribe and like our videos. It helps us move on with the channel and keep everybody getting more content. That said, let's start with our video today. Postgres Temporary Tables. Data isolation. Temporary tables are session-specific and isolated from other sessions. Each session can create and work its own set of temporary tables without interfering with other concurrent sessions. This provides a clean and isolated working environment for temporary data. Improved performance. Temporary tables can enhance query performance by allowing you to materialize intermediate results. You can store and manipulate intermediate data with a temporary table, reducing the need for complex subqueries or repeated calculations. It can lead to faster query execution times, especially when dealing with large datasets or complex operations. Transaction scope. Temporary tables can be useful within a transaction to store and process data throughout its duration. They are automatically dropped at the end of the transaction, ensuring data integrity and avoiding clutter in the database. Temporary tables can be used for staging data, performing complex calculation, or maintaining temporary state within a transaction. Simplified data transformation. Temporary tables are often used to simplify complex data transformations. You can store intermediate results in a temporary table and gradually apply transformation or join operations to refine the data. This step-by-step approach simplifies the overall data manipulation process and provides a clearer and more maintainable workflow. Table structure flexibility. Temporary tables can have a dynamic structure that suits the specific needs of a particular operation or query. You can create temporary tables with varying column definitions, constraints, and indexes based on the requirements of the temporary data. This flexibility allows for optimized data storage and tailored indexing strategies for efficient query processing. Concurrent session independence. Since each session has its own set of temporary tables, concurrent sessions can work independently without conflicts or contention. Temporary tables enable parallel processing of data, enhancing the scalability and performance of applications in multi-user environments. Last but not least, testing and debugging. Temporary tables can be beneficial during testing and debugging phases of development. They provide a sandbox-like environment to experiment with data and test different scenarios without affecting the underlying production tables or data. Temporary tables can also be used for data comparison, troubleshooting, or isolating problematic data subsets. Now that we've seen the advantages of temporary tables, and of course, we didn't explain what a temporary table is because, of course, it's pretty much mnemonic and descriptive. A temporary table is only going to exist for the duration of the session. If you log out, it's gone. And we're going to take a look at a demo as well. The first thing we want to create is a database. Let's create a database called my_temp. Be able to see it listed. And there it is. Connect towards it. And let's start creating our data here. First step, we are going to create a temporary table. Second, we're going to insert data into that, followed by selecting a star, all the rows in that table. Temporary table, that is. And as we can see, we already have 3 tuplas in it. Let's make an update to one of those tuplas and reselect. Notice that ID2 was updated. That is successful. Now let's delete from one of the tuplas that matches the name, last name actually, Johnson, and select again the data. Only 2 tuplas. We mentioned before in the data and in the presentation that if a temporary table is temporary, when we log out of PSQL, it should be gone. So we are in the database called my_temp. We see that the table is there. I'm going to close my session with PSQL. I'm going to go back, log in, connect into my_temp database. Now let's list tables. Again, the demo show that a temporary table is temporary, literally. In conclusion, temporary tables are automatically dropped at the end of the session or the transaction. We noticed that in the demo. Depending on the context in which they were created, they are useful for storing intermediate results or temporary data within a specific session or transaction without cluttering the main database schema. Keep in mind that the usage of temporary tables should be done judiciously and with consideration of their scope and lifespan. They are intended for temporary data storage and manipulation within a session or transaction and should not be used as a long-term data storage solution. Thanks for watching the video. Looking forward to seeing you in the next ones.